They believed gold was God's blessing, a sign that heaven had chosen them to rule the earth. But history has a wicked sense of humor, because this is the story of the empire that drowned in its own treasure, and discovered that sometimes the greatest fortune is the beginning of the end. And as Finny says, gold is a crown until it becomes a cage. So let's see when gold became a curse. Comes the Spain's imperial collapse. At the dawn of the 16th century, Spain was rising, fierce, devout, and ambitious. A kingdom forged by Catholic kings, hungry to expand, conquer, and save souls, or so they told themselves. But beneath faith, there was fire, the fire of power, the hunger for greatness. Europe was splintered. Empires were forming. The game of global dominance was about to begin. Then fate delivered a spark. A sailor named Columbus returned with whispers of a new world. A world dripping with gold. Not farms, not factories, not knowledge. Gold. And in that moment, Spain didn't just change its future. It sold its future for glitter. What followed was one of history's most extraordinary and dangerous windfalls. From the Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan to the mountains of the Inca Empire, Spain seized unimaginable wealth. Galleons crossed the Atlantic like ants marching to a feast, each carrying treasure no king had dreamed possible. Gold chalices, silver bars, jewels carved for gods. And Spain believed it had won the game of civilization. After all, what is wealth if not gold? Oh, we're about to find out. The money poured in like a tide with no moon to pull it back. Kings in gilded armor, priests in ruby robes, nobles whose hands never knew soil. Spain built cathedrals that touched the sky, and armies that marched across continents. Wars paid in gold. Ships paid in gold. Prestige, glory, power, all paid in gold. And the world watched the Spanish Empire shine, a blinding sun at the center of global power. But the brighter the light, the darker the shadows it cast. Behind silk curtains, a dangerous idea took root. Why work? When gold can work for us. Economies are like forests. They grow slowly, branch by branch. But Spain tried to grow an entire forest overnight. The result? Europe's first great inflation crisis. More gold meant more money, but not more wheat, not more iron, not more labor. Prices soared, the poor starved, the middle class suffocated. And Spain, richest nation on earth, found that richness can be very, very hungry. Nobles refused to farm. Craftsmen fled to nations where their skills mattered. Merchants were replaced by foreign traders. Spain traded gold for food, gold for weapons, gold for clothes. A kingdom of treasure became a customer to the world. And every ship that returned with foreign goods carried something else back to Europe. The quiet laughter of nations who learned how to make things, while Spain learned only how to spend. Soon, even Spain's gold wasn't enough. Wars in Europe, wars in the Mediterranean, wars across oceans. An empire built on conquest must keep conquering, or collapse under its own hunger. The monarchy turned to bankers in Antwerp, Genoa, and Germany. "Lend us money," Spain demanded. "More gold is coming." And the bankers obliged. Spain mortgaged tomorrow to pay for today. And that's when gold stopped being wealth and became debt. 3 times the empire defaulted. 3 times the world gasped. How could the richest empire on earth run out of money? Because gold was never money. Gold was fuel, and Spain burned it like wildfire. Then came 1588. The mighty Spanish Armada, symbol of God's chosen empire, sank beneath English cannons and Atlantic storms, and with it sank the illusion of invincibility. Across the sea, Dutch merchants built fleets. English financiers studied banking. France grew restless and ambitious. Industry bloomed elsewhere. Innovation flourished elsewhere. Power shifted, quietly, permanently. Spain still had gold, but no longer had momentum. And in history, momentum is often worth more than treasure. In palaces of marble, kings still held golden goblets, but the world had moved on. An empire can die long before it falls. So what happened? Spain mistook treasure for wealth. It believed owning was the same as building. But real wealth isn't what glitters. Real wealth is productivity, innovation, education, institutions, trust, work that compounds over time. Gold shines, but knowledge multiplies. And when an empire chooses shine over substance, history waits, quietly, patiently, because every empire must pay its bill. Spain thought it owned gold, but gold, it seems, owned Spain. When gold became a curse, Spain discovered a painful truth. Wealth that comes fast leaves faster, and riches without creation are only borrowed time. So the next time we call something valuable, a currency, a technology, a resource, ask this: does it build or does it merely shine? Because history is generous with gold, but ruthless with illusions. If this story changed how you see wealth, how you see power, stay curious and stay with me. Subscribe. The next tale might not just challenge what you value, it might challenge what you believe.